Can a hydroplane crash a lakeside garden party? It did in 1954. Race day at Seafair, the year's biggest event. No Mariners, Seahawks, or Sonics yet. Lining Lake Washington's southwestern shore and the Mercer Island floating bridge are, no typo, 375,000 hydroplane fans. A motorized thrum pierces the air. The second heat of the Gold Cup opens. At a lakefront garden party 6 houses south of the bridge, guests mingle when a 2.4-ton, 29-foot-long mahogany and yellow hydroplane roars off course, leaps from the water, jumps a bulkhead, brushes through rose bushes, and lands just shy of a lily pond and a table of snacks. It actually happened shortly after 3 p.m. on Saturday, August 7, 1954. No one was hurt. The pedal-draped, Detroit-based Gale 4 suffered an 8-inch hull puncture. Its helmeted driver gingerly climbed out. Onlookers gawked. Police officers arrived. Cameras clicked and whirred. On the lake, the flashy rooster-tail spray of other boats kept rising. The race persisted. From such front-page incidents, legends arise. Champion boat and auto racer Bill Cantrell, 1908 to 1996, had earned a nickname in 1927 when an outboard owner saw him driving full throttle and shouted, "Look at Wild Bill go!" But his 1954 mishap came to both fit and haunt him. For years, Cantrell's answer to why was that his steering mechanism had jammed. Today, Brad Haskin, director of the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum in Kent, reveals a different angle, rooted in rivalry every bit as hateful as Lakers-Celtics or Yankees-Red Sox. Automotive Detroit and Aerospace Seattle dueled fiercely in each year's race to host the Gold Cup the next year. Seattle's slow-motion hydros, based at Stan Sayer's home at Hunts Point on the northeastern lakeshore, typically zoomed south at up to 130 miles an hour beneath the bridge for the race's famous flying starts. Circling on the course itself, Detroit boats could muster only 80 to 90 miles an hour before the starting line, Haskins says. The Detroit guys felt that was unfair, he says. So Cantrell rooted around the north turn, trying to create waves to slow the slow-mos. I have a feeling that while roughing up the water, he got distracted and wasn't looking where he was going. And then, boom, he went up and over the rocks and into the garden, Haskins says. In one yarn, the homeowner, Dr. Forrest Black, asked Cantrell if he had an invitation. In another, the doc offered him a cocktail. Seattle's Slow Motion 5 won that Gold Cup. A Navy barge picked up Gale 4 for repairs. The Coast Guard later tightened course boundaries, making a future beached hydroplane incident at Seafair highly unlikely. But we still can delight in Cantrell's sheepish shrug. First time I ever walked away from a boat crack-up. The legend lives. In our first then photo, during the Gold Cup on August 7, 1954, onlookers surround the Detroit-based Gale 4 hydroplane after driver Wild Bill Cantrell beached it in the lakeside garden of Dr. Forrest Black, 6 houses south of the Mercer Island floating bridge. This is a composite of screenshots taken from color film at hydroplanehistory.com. Here is a second composite, and here is a third composite, and here is a composite that shows Cantrell climbing out after he beached the boat. In our next then photo, the Gale hydroplane team is shown in 1960. From left, driver Wild Bill Cantrell, owner Joe Schoeneth, and son, driver Lee Schoeneth. Joe wears a jacket embroidered with the cartoon Ready Kilowatt, symbol of the Detroit-based W.D. Gale Electric Company. A stick figure of lightning bolts and a light bulb nose, the mascot also was painted on the tail fins of the firm's Gale 4 and Gale 5 hydroplanes. In our next then photo, driver Bill Cantrell atop the Gale 4 hydroplane in 1954 in Detroit. a longtime hotbed of hydro racing until recent shutdowns due to financial challenges. In our next then photo, a Navy blimp flies overhead during the 1954 Gold Cup race, while in the foreground, 2 police officers preside as a camera crew documents the beached Gale 4 hydroplane. In our next then photo, an aerial view of the beached Gale 4 in the lakefront garden of Dr. Forrest Black. In our final then photo, the pedal-draped Gale 4 hydroplane rests in Dr. Forrest Black's lakefront rose garden, 6 houses south of the Mercer Island floating bridge. Today, Brad Haskin, director of the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum in Kent, stands on the lakefront where, during the 1954 Gold Cup, the Detroit-based Gale 4 hydroplane landed in the lakefront garden of Dr. Forrest Black. Black died in 1960. In later decades, until 2024, the property and its home were owned by the Oberto family. The site will be featured December 5th at the 39th Mount Baker Home Tour.